Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, it seems like you need one crazy person to yell in public, like you had a kid yelling that the emperor has no clothes. The same here, you had Elon Musk stating an historical fact that Crimea was not part of Ukraine until 1954, and everybody jumped on you because, oh my God, don't say that, because that would destroy a certain narrative. Well, I can tell you that part of Ukraine, that is now part of Ukraine, was not part of Ukraine until 1940, and that's the northern part of Romania, called Bukovina. And on the same note, the southern part of what's called now the Republic of Moldova was not Ukrainian, was part of Moldova. The one piece of land between where Moldova is now and the Black Sea. Moldova used to go down north-south. It was right next to Romania. It is next to Romania, but going down continued to the Black Sea. But that portion was taken out, where Odessa is right now. Not Odessa, but in the Odessa area, in the west of Odessa. That was Romanian. That was Romania. That was Moldova. So that was taken, and when the whole half of Moldova was taken through that ultimatum issued by Stalin to Romania in 1940, that was taken as a republic, and then the bottom given to Ukraine. So it was then given to Ukraine in the northern part to Ukraine, 1940. 1954, Crimea was given to Ukraine. 1918, certain parts of Hungary, Austria-Hungary, was given to Ukraine. So you see, you're not supposed to say these facts because you don't deal with normal people. You deal with people who are ran by muscles, not by brain. And they think if I have muscles, I am right. Might is right. So remember when Elon Musk, the Tesla guy, right? He said that actually Ukraine got Crimea from Russia, from Khrushchev, from Nikita Khrushchev in 1954. And everybody said, oh my God, how can you say that? Well, that's a fact. What do you want? So the same thing is another guy here, another billionaire, who comes out and he says the same thing. And everybody's, opa, there's two of them. What's going on here? We couldn't shut up the first one. Now this reality and the truth spreads. Not the truth spreads, but the courage spreads. Because the truth is there. We know it. It's not hard. You just click 2 times and you find out. But people are afraid to say it. So this article comes from Republic World, and it's from today here, 19th of October, the 20th over there in India, and this is the title. After Musk, another US billionaire urges Ukraine to recognize Crimea as part of Russia. After Elon Musk, another US-based billionaire came in support of Moscow and suggested the war-embattled nation to recognize Crimea as part of Russia, end quote. Well, in support of Moscow. I think in support of reality. Now he can urge whatever he wants, and you guys can call him however you want. A week after Tesla CEO Elon Musk endorsed Russia's step to annex Ukrainian regions, another US-based billionaire came in support of Moscow and suggested the war-embattled nation to recognize, quote-unquote, Crimea as part of Russia. In a controversial Twitter post. Why is it controversial? That's fact. It was theirs, given to you. You have it, what? 54, 64, 74, 84, 91, right? So you got what? About 38 years or something. 37, something like this, years. That's all you got, that region. And it's yours? 37 years? Really? So, in a controversial Twitter post, U.S. billionaire hedge fund manager Bill Ackman presented what he called a peace deal and asked Ukraine to allow Russia to recognize Crimea as their own region. The billionaire underscored that Crimea was not part of Ukraine until 1954 and added the region still has a major population of ethnic Russians. Now, why they say 91 is because that's when Ukraine became a country. Before 91, it was not a country, it was a republic, socialist republic, Soviet Social Republic of Ukraine within Soviet Union, so it was not independent. That's why it was just formed in 1918. Ukraine as a state lost its independence because they were so smart. They were put by Trotsky and the other non-Russian Lenin, and then the Socialist Republic was given that certain parts of Romania, certain parts of Hungary, certain parts of Russia. And then in 1991, when the Soviet Union disintegrated, Ukraine became independent again. And it remained with all those territories that were taken by other countries, by different dictators of the Soviet Union, and given to Ukraine instead of giving it back. You know what I mean? It was forcefully taken, illegally taken, give it back. No. So now when the Russians take what's theirs, Ukraine is theirs, right? What the hell? Ukraine, Crimea is theirs? No, it's ours. Well, how about you give back that part of the southern of Moldova, give it to Romania, give Bukovina, Chernouts to Romania, give to Poland what they have, give Ukraine, Hungary what they had, and you will remain with nothing. Anyway, and I'm quoting what this guy said. Crimea was part of Russia until 1954 and is largely comprised of ethnic Russians, which was apparently why the world did a little when Russia annexed it back in 2014, end quote, said the CEO of Pershing Square Capital Management. In a subsequent tweet, he said that the borders should be returned as it was before the escalation of the war of February 2024. This year also, he lambasted the Biden administration for assisting Ukraine in escalating the war. According to him, the administration should invest in rebuilding Ukraine rather than funding the brutal war. Well, you missed the point. They're not fighting for Ukraine, they're fighting for Russia. Russia is the prize, not Ukraine. Ukraine is the means, the reason. You know, as per the billionaire's theory, the war has already devastated the whole country, killed thousands of people. He added peace is the only solution. Thousands of lives will be saved and resources can be invested to rebuild Ukraine rather than in a war that was only led to more destructions. The war will only lead to more destructions and death, the billionaire wrote. If there is a viable path to peace, we should pursue it. Each day the conflict continues, the risk to the world rises. Yeah, now well, that's what it is. Now they tell us that it was a backlash, the post and all that. Yeah, whatever. The backlash. How many? How many of how many? I'm for it. I'm for what this guy said because I think it's factual. What do you want? I mean, what do you want? Leave it there? I mean, just always put yourself in the place, in the shoes of, let's say, the Russians from Crimea. Put yourself over there. Let's say your parents live over there. And they don't want to live with Ukraine because Ukraine are bad to them. All right? And you want to go back to your motherland. So what would you do? Stay with Ukraine or stay with Russia? When you say, wait a minute, this was just given by a dictator, no, Khrushchev, just taken by a signature. People, you belong to those guys now. And after 1991, you stay with them. Declared who? The big countries, right? But not the people. What is this? Imagine that a person was born, let's say, in 1930. So in 1954, he was 24 years old, right? 24 years old. So he's old enough to remember when he was transferred, right, as a region into the property of Ukraine. So in 30, how much was he in 1990, right? 60? whatever. He was what? 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, right? So he was about 60 years old. So he is really remembering, like, right now, go back to where we were, right? To Russia. No, you stay with Ukraine. I don't want to stay with Ukraine. So from the year 24 until the 60, he was under Ukrainians, let's put it, whatever, administration. And after that, we go back to where I was before that. No, you've got to stay with these guys. Why? It was just given to these guys, you understand? So I don't understand what the big problem is. Why would you, and when you hear these guys, we're going to liberate those territories do not want to be liberated by you. They want to be with these guys. So if you liberate the territory, that means you're going to grab the territories. What are you going to do with the population? It doesn't want to be with you. Does not want to be with you. What are you going to do with them? Convince them, or you convince them? Which one? Convince them or convince them? What are you going to do? Nothing. Just let them be. You know, it's like having a marriage. She's divorcing you, and she divorced you, and you still want to have her. What do you want? She's divorced you. That's done. No, you're still my wife. No, you're not my wife. You're divorced. Bye. So anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.